because over the summer it just feels like blah, blah, blah. So we all know that when we're doing something and then we stop entirely, it's harder to start up again. So in terms of school, right? You think you've got the school year and then we take summer off and then we start again in September. Sometimes it's really hard to get the ball rolling again in September. So this video has some strategies for how to stay sharp over the summer without like making it seem like work. Like there's things that we can do over the summer that use the same parts of our brain, that develop the same skills as we'll need in the fall for school, but that don't like feel like schoolwork, because no one wants that. No one wants to do that over the summer. So if you're a student, this stuff applies to you. If you're a parent, I want you to think in terms of these are things you might be able to have your child do. And hi, I'm Katie Azevedo. I started schoolhabits.com. I'm an executive function coach, and I've worked with thousands of students one-on-one on college application essays, SATs, ACTs, study skills, executive function skills, and writing. So I've been around the block and I've seen a thing or two. Now, before we begin, I would love if you liked this video to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and then follow me over on Instagram. I do a lot of daily inspiration and sort of behind the scenes stuff over there. Now, strategy number one to stay sharp over the summer is to keep a calendar. Now, if you're watching this video, if you've seen any of my other videos, I really hope that you're the type of person who would have a calendar or a planner, online, digital, paperback, whatever, at this point already. But if you don't, then now is the time to start one. So if you start using a calendar over the summer to track work hours, appointments, vacation days, even dates with friends, this strategy will help you develop a sense of time, or at least keep your sense of time, because over the summer, time seems to be a little amorphic and it just blends and comes and goes and doesn't seem to have like any sense to it. Keeping a calendar will sort of keep your mind sharp in the sense of managing your time, so that when you start school again in September, you have the habit of tracking things. Even if you don't feel like you need a calendar because you don't feel like you have a lot of things to track, there are things to track. Like you're gonna go to the dentist. You're gonna babysit, you're gonna have a job. Even if your job is the same hours every day, put that stuff down. Put down when you're planning to go to the beach with your friends, like even if it's tomorrow. Build the habit of writing things down so that in September, when you're gonna use your calendar more to like write your assignments down, you'll at least wouldn't have lost that skill. Now, number two is have a goal and track it. I don't mean a goal like, yeah, this summer I wanna go to the beach. That's a thing to do. That's not a goal. But if you create a goal, it could be personal, like maybe health. It could be professional, like if you have a summer job. It could be academic. So maybe you're taking a summer course and it's your goal to complete the summer course with a certain grade. Maybe it's a reading goal, like you want to get through your summer reading books by a certain point in the summer. Maybe it's a financial goal. Maybe you want to make a certain amount of money or save a certain amount of money by the time school starts again in September. Okay, but have a goal and then track it. It's not enough to say, I want to do this. Like you have to have a plan. Many of you have heard this before, to have like a SMART goal. A good goal is a SMART goal. S is simple, measurable, actionable, reasonable, and timely. I think I hit all those letters. So if you don't know much about SMART goals, Google it. You can find a bazillion things over the internet for how to create a SMART goal. But track this stuff. Even track it in your calendar, which you're creating because I told you to in step number one. But if you give yourself a goal and you create the steps that lead up to that goal and you meet that goal, you're using like all of the executive functions that you're gonna need when you go back to school. So you don't let them sort of wither away over the summer. Now, number three, you might do this anyway, or you might not want to hear this one, but read. Like, read anything. Some of you are gonna be doing summer reading, so you have to read anyway. If you don't have summer reading, just read something. You could do audiobooks. To me, that absolutely counts as reading. Another strategy, you could take this a step further, this is what I do, is I actually have a list on my phone. Where's my phone? I use don't need to show you my phone, you know what it looks like. I use Google Keep to keep track of like a bunch of different lists, and I have a list of books that I want to read and a list of books that I have read, because I use a digital like for like lists and things, but I have a full-blown planner. It's in my backdrop right now for the rest of my life. But just plan to get through like 1 or 2 books this summer. Keep track of what you read, create a goal for reading. Again, that uses, not only does it keep you like reading sharp, but you're using those critical thinking skills, your executive functions that again, you're gonna need when you start school in September. Number 4 is to keep a journal. This could be a written journal. What I use is called the 5-minute journal, and it really takes like 5 minutes. It takes like 2.5 minutes in the morning and 2.5 minutes at night. But it gives you prompts, so I'm not like, what am I gonna write about? Some of you might wanna do more of like a stream of consciousness, where you're just sort of writing whatever bubbles up. You could also do a photo journal. I had a client a few years ago who did this over the summer. He took 1 photo per day over the entire summer, didn't write a thing about them, but the photos documented his summer. That is awesome. That would count as a journal for sure. If you're one who struggles with journaling, because you're like, I don't even know what to write, you can Google journal prompts, but you can answer the same 3 prompts every single day, like, what went well today? What didn't go well today? How could I have made today better? How did I feel today? What am I grateful for? Gratitude journaling, oh, life changer. You could do it paper-based, that's what I recommend, but you could do like an online journal and keep it private. You can make like a website, you could make a Google website if you have a Google account, and then just keep it private. There's online journaling websites anyway, they're like password protected. You could do it that way. You could do it in Google Docs. Just write something of a reflection or a gratitude or thought each day, and that'll help keep you sharp over the summer. And number 5, this is one of my favorites, is listen to podcasts. Now, if you're not into podcasting or listening to podcasts, now is the time to start. They have changed so much over the years. If you have an Apple phone, you can just use the native podcast app. You can use iHeartRadio, you can use Spotify, but they have podcasts for everything. So you could do entertaining ones, you could do humor, you could do current events, you could do sort of educational ones. There's so much information that's out there that's just for anybody, no matter what your interests are. And it's a way to get information without having to sit and listen, read a book. Although I recommend that too, but like you can go to on a walk and listen to a podcast. What I do often is I go on a walk and I listen to a podcast and I take notes, or in my notes app on the phone. I take notes when I'm walking, and then when I get home, I rewrite them in a way that like is more thorough and makes sense to me. You might not be as crazy as I am and do that, but I'm just telling you, you gotta give the podcast a shot. Now, all of these strategies are ways to keep you sharp and your skills sharp over the summer so that you don't stop like thinking and using those skills. I'm gonna call them executive function skills because they are. Planning, time management, organization, task initiation, goal setting, that type of thing. You don't want to stop using those once the school year ends because it's harder to start and like pick up where you left off if you stop all summer long. So these are like good practical ways to keep those skills going over the summer so that when you start school in September, it's like you never missed a beat. All right, so don't forget to like this video and subscribe and follow me on Instagram. I hope you have a wonderful summer and I hope you stay sharp, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.